Kawhi Leonard back to the Raptors. The Clippers will receive unprotected first-round picks in 2031, 2033, 2 second-round picks in 2030 and 2033, and a first-round pick swap next year. So 5 picks in total, 3 firsts, and 2 seconds. All of that, and they get back young Reaper, Brandon Ingram, and Grady Dick to go along with those picks. So the Clippers move on from the board man, Kawhi Leonard. Or is it actually Kawhi Leonard is running from the pending doom that will be headed up by the Los Angeles Clippers, that would be headed up by the NBA Governors Board, and he's trying to get out of Dodge before this is like when Harbaugh went running to the 49ers after that Michigan title. This is just like that. Kawhi Leonard is Harbaugh. Let me get up out of here. We know the dirt that we did to make all this happen. We couldn't even get a Larry O.B. out of it, but we did what we did. We know why we got here. Let me get on up out of here before the NBA governors come raining down punishments. Now, again, there's a narrative being spun about this in terms of why Kawhi wanted to leave and what the Clippers' thought process was. The Clippers want to get younger. The Clippers want to get money under the cap. They tried to do the win now philosophy. Now they're trying to reassess that and try to build a winning team. All this comes down to the nonsense that they pulled off in getting Kawhi Leonard in the first place. Pablo Torre reminding us of this. Outgoing Raptors owner Larry Tannenbaum is chairman of the NBA's Board of Governors. As of September of last year, a quote from a story on the whole thing of Kawhi and the Clippers and the alleged tampering is that, quote, it will be Tannenbaum who will presumably have a voice in what, if any, sanctions are leveled against Ballmer and the Clippers. So you mean to tell me that Kawhi Leonard, who was part of whatever you want to call whatever happened in terms of the fake tree planting, circumventing the cap, tampering, all of that, he was a part of all of that. In LA as a Clipper, Steve Ballmer allegedly, Lawrence Frank allegedly, and that brain trust were all a part of this scheme to cook up, to find a scenario, to find a way to go get Kawhi. And they were caught, allegedly. And they get to send Kawhi away, get 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a couple of players, and they're sending Kawhi to the team where the chairman of the NBA Board of the Governors is the Raptors owner? Hold up. We're going to send Kawhi, who just tampered, circumvented the cap, numerous violations of our morals and ethics. We're going to send him back to the team that he walked away from, back to the owner who just so happens to be the one in charge of whatever sanctions may come against the Clippers organization. That's where we're going to send Kawhi? None of that is weird to y'all. None of that is funny to y'all. None of that is funny money to y'all. So the Clippers get rid of Kawhi. The Raptors luckily have Kawhi fall into their laps for a second time, because Kawhi ain't want to go there the first time. And low-key doesn't really want to go there this time, but he has no choice because he has no leverage because he know what he did. Or allegedly, we know what he and Uncle Dennis did. Now Toronto, whose owner just so happens to be the chairman of the Board of Governors, who's going to be the ones levying whatever punishment, if there is any, against the Clippers, that's the team? And you telling me this sports shit ain't rigged? You telling me Luka is a Laker just by happenstance? You telling me Nico Harrison was really that dumb to wake up in the middle of the night and just trade Luka Doncic? You telling me the Chicago Bulls had the worst odds of getting the number 1 overall pick, but somehow got the number 1 pick and drafted hometown king and legend Derrick Rose? Do you understand how this looks optically? Even if, let's try to put on the rosiest of colored glasses. Even if this was a conspiracy theory, do you know how crazy that looks? A team who was caught red-handed, allegedly, tampering with a player who left one organization to come to your organization. That organization circumvented the cap. That organization tampered. That organization colluded. And now you're going to send that player back to that original organization who he left in the first place? And the team that circumvented the cap, tampered, colluded, gets 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Now, wouldn't it be funny if whatever judgment is levied upon the Clippers is these picks? Wouldn't that just be a crazy? The league comes down hard on the Clippers and said, we're going to take 3 first-round picks from you. And we're even going to take some second-round picks from you. And those picks just so happen to be the picks they just got for Kawhi. All right, man. Y'all, again, I am not on that conspiracy theory shit, but the math be mathin'. Clippers get Ingram, Grady Dick, a pick swap, which is next year's first-round pick, 2 future first and 2. I'm telling you, if the punishment comes down, and that punishment is these picks or involve these picks, because again, I think we looked it up and I think we saw they don't even have a lot of picks. This was the last year of the Paul George picks, but they've also made other deals that they've given away other future first round picks. So we had that discussion then of the Clippers don't even have the picks to forfeit if the league were to even to come down on them if they wanted to. Now, all of a sudden, the Clippers fall into some future first-round picks that the league can now just politely take from them as punishment for tampering, colluding, whatever, with boardman Kawhi Leonard. Now, the narrative is being spun is that the Clippers were not willing to do a long-term contract extension with Kawhi. Why weren't they willing to do a long-term contract extension with Kawhi? It's because they didn't want to get sanctioned even harder for extending Kawhi. Because now you're playing in the league's face. And now all of a sudden, Kawhi, who couldn't wait to get out of Toronto. Oh, he knows so many people in the front office. He knows so many people in the organization. That man didn't want to be there. Fred VanVleet, all those Raptors have gone on different athlete podcasts and have all talked about how Kawhi wanted nothing to do with Toronto. And he made it very clear the minute he touched down is that I'm only here for a year and then I'm out of here. Now I'm supposed to believe that Kawhi Leonard knows so many people in the front office, is so familiar with the area, is so liking of Toronto that he couldn't wait to leave it. Now I'm supposed to believe he actually loved Toronto, that he can't wait to go back to Toronto, wants to retire in Toronto. I'm supposed to believe that.